Hey there, and welcome to today's video collab. Today we have another installation of The Struggle is Real. And if you joined us the last 2 weeks, we conquered rolling the roll up and also rolling like a ball. And I will include those two videos in the description box below. And today we're gonna look at one of our top struggle exercises, I think, for a lot of people, which is the teaser. And we're gonna look at it on the reformer, on the teaser on the long box. And it's different than the previous two exercises we've talked about, the roll up and rolling like a ball. Now we're no longer looking at a foundational exercise. So while the roll up demands certain things be present in the body, it's really one of our building blocks that help us with exercises like the teaser. Same with rolling like a ball. It's a new experience and you might not be great at it at first, but it's gonna be a skill that you cultivate to, again, help you with exercises like the teaser. So now here at the teaser on the long box, we have some prerequisites. So you'll need to be proficient in the roll up because it's really just like the teaser except you're not balancing. Also in rolling like a ball, which gives you the shape and the balance of the teaser, as well as doing the teaser elsewhere in the studio. Usually the teaser on the long box is not the first teaser that you learn. You may learn it first on the Cadillac or also on the mat. And although you might not be great at the teaser there, usually you visit it there first before you're seated atop the box, which feels like you're on the edge of a cliff sometimes the first time you try it. And you have a lot of straps to deal with. And another prerequisite is also the preceding exercise done on the long box, which is the backstroke. The backstroke is one of the exercises that helps you prepare for the teaser on the long box. Really, the whole long box series is preparing you for it. And the backstroke should be good. And you should be able to do at least 5 in the first direction, if not 5 in each direction. Sorry, not 5, woo! 3 in each direction of the backstroke, and not be dying because it's strengthening you and preparing you for the teaser. And sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly how those handles and straps are helping you in this exercise because they sometimes can feel like a lot to deal with. So we're gonna look at the teaser on the long box, kind of different versions of it, and talk about ways that you can better the exercise all around the studio. So we first talked about the roll up, rolling like a ball, those should be good. And then your backstroke that precedes the teaser on the long box. And there's also a way you can learn it kind of a little bit backwards on the long box so that you start with part of it and you build to the full expression of the exercise on the long box. So let's just take a look at what we're looking at and then I'll break it down to talk about how you can begin. So I've got my Gratz reformer. I have one spring on, I've got the long box, my headpiece is up, and I have handles and straps. And let's pretend that I've done a beautiful reformer. Up until this point, my backstroke was fantastic, and now I'm gonna look at the teaser. So, I have to get on the proper way. So I'm gonna pretend here was my backstroke. And then I finished my backstroke, I changed my spring beautifully, and now here I am on the long box ready to go. So I'm gonna be just like the roll up. I'm gonna roll myself up and bring my straps with me. And then I'm gonna roll back down. And then eventually, you might go up and you might do some things up here. And then you'll go down again. And you might do eventually very fancy things. So essentially, that's what you're looking for. You start lying down, you roll up, you do some challenging things a few times, and you roll down. And you do a total of about 3 of them. So the hard part of this exercise, well, there's a lot of hard parts. You're on a moving carriage, you have resistance, the straps are pulling you basically downward and backward, and you're trying to reach up all of your limbs that way. This is your quest. So let's talk about ways you can start it. So you work on the fighting of the resistance, and then you can coordinate the rolling up and down. So maybe when you first start your teaser, you get to start sitting up. And this is not the usual way that I do this exercise. I'm gonna pull out my pants before this exercise. Okay, so we'll see if I can do this version as well. So you would start balancing just like you're rolling like a ball, pressing your heels together, finding your bottom, and then your stomach pulls in, and the handle, you get to push on the handle to help you pull the stomach in. Your legs go out like the frog. Oh, there's another nice prerequisite, the frog. And here you are in your teaser. And maybe that controlled that you can do, and then maybe you have to lower your arms, the carriage comes in, and then you can rest your feet a moment. And maybe you do 3 like that to start. You balance, and it's really, you know, rolling like a ball. It's the same thing, except you don't get to hold onto your legs, and you're on something that's not the mat on the floor. And then you're gonna get some help by pushing the handle. You're gonna pull your stomach in, and all of the limbs go forward. And then maybe you can do this really nice and controlled. So then each time you do that, you move, you challenge your position of your balance by moving your arms up and down. And then maybe you do that 3 times, the carriage comes in, and you rest your legs. So let's say that's going beautifully well. And you can balance, do some things 3 times, and be controlled and come down and rest each time. Okay, so now you're gonna add the rolling down part to the box. So you would start sitting up, pull your stomach in, all the limbs go forward, and then you do what you do. And then you're gonna push on the handle to help you pull your stomach away from the strap. So you're kind of pulling your stomach in and using the strap to support you. And whoops, and then you're gonna roll down. You might be like this. You might have your legs down, but you might have your legs in. And then maybe you can't really get up, so you could certainly sit up and do that whole thing again. Let's pretend this person can only balance and roll down, but they can't get up yet. So then they would do that 3 times, sitting up each time and doing the balancing and rolling down each time. And then pretty soon, maybe you work on the getting up. So they sit, they balance, they do their stuff. They roll down. Let's pretend they go like this. And then one day, you say, okay, now just roll up like you rolled down. And maybe you help them a little bit and maybe they come up. And then maybe the next time, if they're fine, they might be able to take their legs all the way down. And then by this time, maybe they've been working on their teaser on the mat. They know what teaser 3 is, where everything comes up. And then everything comes down. So in that way, you can keep them controlled, working in the right places, hopefully, and building in their program of teasers as they get more and more proficient. And part of a teaser on the long box is perfectly respectable. If you do a beautiful sitting up and balancing, circling your arms, rolling down, and then you sit up and do it again, that's perfectly fine. Let's talk about ways to use the straps efficiently. Because sometimes we're so hoping that they'll help that we kind of push on them a bit in a futile sort of way. So the way I like to think of them, let's start here because this is sort of where you have to deal with them the most. So I feel like when I push them, I feel like I can pull my stomach in. So there's a little bit of that feeling of pushing out and pulling in for sure. I'm just doing the contact part, like where you actually engage this for the first time. But there's also a little bit of, dare I say, stomach massage in here. And I'm talking about the stomach massage where you get to push on the shoulder rests and lift up your back. So imagine, if you will, that as you're coming up, you push down toward the floor so that as you push on the handle, you can lift up your back. And then eventually they go forward. So there is a little bit of a down and forward action so that you're pushing and pulling yourself up a little, in and up from them, let's say. Yeah. and then you'll roll down. Oh, and the rolling down, so a lot of times, you know, the roll down is a controlled falling down to the box, where they just kind of relax and they go down. And maybe it even doesn't make a big noise. But, wow, this is a lot of teasers I'm doing. But you want to feel like your handle is helping you to give your back a stretch and open your back as you roll down, so that it provides some resistance and does not go slack. That's usually a big giveaway, is that when you're rolling down, if your strap just goes slack, you're really not doing anything on the way down. I hate to break it to you. So let me know what you think of that. Have a good time. This one is a lot of problems for a lot of people, but if you can master the teaser on the long box, you've done a really respectable job. It's no joke. And if you have any questions or comments or want to see other aspects of this exercise, other teasers that you struggle with around the room, do leave me a comment below. I'm happy to film a video or answer your question. And I will see you later. Thank you so much. Bye. Hey there. If you'd like to experience some of these tutorials and ways of looking at the exercises in person and you're in the San Diego area, please come visit me at my Friday Teacher Lab class. I have one each month, and I'll include the link to register in the box below. I'd love to see you there. I limit the space to 5 people, and so there's always a lot of time for questions and working through exercises and strategizing with other teachers and other kinds of bodies. It's nice to see the same exercise on many different people. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you, San Diego. Bye! Our other exercise that we did a couple weeks ago, the stomach massage. This is building on that skill of sitting and reaching and lifting yourself, your waist, to reach all the way to your ankle. And so maybe they start and they're here, but they're reaching as far as they can.